Welcome back, everyone. Today we dive deep into the incredible journey of one of the most powerful forces in women's tennis, Aryna Sabalenka. From her early beginnings in Belarus to becoming a multiple Grand Slam champion and the world number one in 2025, this is the story of her rise, her struggles, her triumphs, and where she stands today. Aryna Sabalenka was born on May 5, 1998 in Minsk, Belarus. She grew up in a family that appreciated sports, but her path to tennis was almost accidental. One day her father, who was a hockey player, drove past some tennis courts and decided to let Aryna try the sport. What began as a small step quickly turned into a lifelong passion. As a young girl, Aryna was known for her fiery personality and unmatched energy. Coaches noticed that she wasn't afraid of hitting the ball hard. In fact, even at a young age, she had a natural aggressive style that later became her trademark. By the time she was a teenager, she had fully committed herself to professional tennis, training at the National Tennis Academy in Minsk. Sabalenka officially turned professional in 2015. At first, she struggled to make her mark on the international stage. She was powerful, yes, but inconsistent. She entered ITF tournaments and tried to climb the ladder, often battling players with more experience. By 2017, however, she began to rise. That year, Aryna helped lead Belarus to the Fed Cup final, a major achievement for the nation and a turning point for her own career. Commentators began to take notice of the young Belarusian with a thunderous serve and booming ground strokes. Although she wasn't yet a household name, she was sending a message to the tennis world she was coming. In 2018, Aryna Sabalenka truly announced herself. She won her first WTA title at the Connecticut Open in New Haven, defeating established names along the way. By the end of that season, she had also captured the Wuhan Open, one of the biggest titles outside of the Grand Slam. Her ranking shot into the top 15, and she became known as one of the most dangerous players on tour. Her style was explosive, a massive first serve, relentless ground strokes, and a fearless attitude. But with her aggression also came inconsistency. She would dominate one match and collapse in the next. Fans loved her intensity, but they also wondered, could she ever control her power long enough to win at the highest level? While Aryna chased singles glory, she also made waves in doubles. Teaming with Elise Mertens, she won the 2019 US Open doubles title and the 2021 Australian Open doubles title. This success showed that she could adapt her game, focus her energy, and achieve big things. At the same time, her singles career was climbing. By 2020 and 2021, she was a consistent top 10 player. She won multiple WTA 1000 titles and made her first Slam semi-final in 2021 at Wimbledon, followed by another at the US Open. These results proved she was knocking on the door of greatness. But a Grand Slam singles trophy still eluded her. Everything changed in 2023. Aryna entered the Australian Open in peak form. After years of questions about her mental toughness and her sometimes shaky serve, she showed maturity, focus, and poise. She fought through a tough draw and finally captured her first Grand Slam singles title at the 2023 Australian Open. It was an emotional, career-defining moment. In 2024, she didn't slow down. She defended her Australian Open crown, showing the world that her victory was no fluke. Later that year, she triumphed at the US Open, cementing her status as one of the sport's true elite. With 3 Grand Slam titles in 2 years, she had arrived at the very top. What made Aryna's rise so impressive wasn't just her titles, but the way she conquered her biggest demons. For years, she was plagued by double faults, especially in pressure moments. She would sometimes break down emotionally on court, visibly frustrated. But in her mid-20 seconds, she worked with sports psychologists, fine-tuned her serve, and found a way to harness her fiery spirit instead of letting it destroy her focus. Her journey became an inspiring example of resilience, proof that athletes can evolve, that weaknesses can be turned into strengths with hard work and patience. Now, in 2025, Aryna Sabalenka stands as one of the most dominant players in the world. She is a multiple Grand Slam champion with victories at the Australian Open and US Open under her belt, and she even reached the French Open final in 2025, proving she can compete on clay, a surface that once gave her trouble. She has also regained and maintained the world #1 ranking, fighting off challenges from other stars like Iga Swiatek and Coco Gauff. Sabalenka's powerful game, combined with her newfound consistency, has made her a nightmare opponent. While it's too early to compare Aryna directly to legends like Serena Williams or Martina Navratilova, her trajectory is remarkable. She has already joined the exclusive club of players who have held world #1 in both singles and double. She has proven she can win across surfaces, handle pressure, and adapt her game. If she continues this form into the late 2020s, she could easily surpass double-digit Grand Slam victories. For Belarus, she is already the greatest tennis player in the nation's history. Globally, she is carving her name among the sport's elite. Looking back at the young Aryna Sabalenka, who burst onto the scene nearly a decade ago, the transformation is clear. Then she was raw power, fiery emotions, sometimes uncontrollable. Now she is refined, experienced, and still just as powerful, but with maturity and resilience that make her a champion. She once struggled to even reach the second week of Slam. Now, she is the player everyone wants to avoid in a draw. She once doubted herself under pressure. Now she thrives on the biggest stages, lifting trophies and embracing the spotlight. Aryna Sabalenka's journey is far from over. At only 27 years old in 2025, she has already achieved what many players dream of their whole lives: Grand Slam titles, world #1 status, and international recognition. But perhaps the most exciting part is that she's still in her prime, with many more years to compete. Aryna Sabalenka's story is more than just tennis. It's a tale of power, resilience, and transformation. She is the woman who turned raw energy into polished greatness, the player who silenced doubts with thunderous serves and unforgettable victories. With 4 Grand Slam singles titles, multiple doubles crowns, and the world #1 ranking, Aryna has carved her name into the history books. But it isn't only her achievements that captivate the world. It's the way she carries herself, strong, confident, and magnetic, both on and off the court. Whether she's lifting a trophy beneath the bright lights or walking onto the court with her fearless presence, Aryna embodies the spirit of a modern champion. Fierce yet elegant, powerful yet graceful. And as we stand in 2025, one thing is undeniable: Aryna Sabalenka is not just a tennis superstar, she is a global icon. Her journey from a fiery young talent in Minsk to a symbol of dominance and inspiration proves that legends aren't born overnight. They're built with passion, perseverance, and unstoppable willpower. This is Aryna Sabalenka then and now, and the best is yet to come. From a fiery teenager in Minsk to a global tennis superstar, Sabalenka's story is about perseverance, growth, and the will to win. And as fans, we can only wait and watch to see how much further she will go. One thing is certain: Aryna Sabalenka is not just a star of today, but a legend in the making. Thank you for watching this journey of Aryna Sabalenka then and now in 2025.